Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. We now got the next 4 issues of the Fanhome release of Build Your Own R2-D2. Okay, looks like we're going to be doing a lot of work on the other leg, in particular the other leg's foot, but I want to address something from last time. Check this out. As you know, I had a problem with the sensor last time. That's since been replaced by Fanhome, so as you can see, when I turn on the board now, the board's not showing any lights at all. When I wave my hand in front of it, the green light comes on. So now that sensor's working absolutely perfectly. So a little bit happy there, because that means it wasn't my fault. It was definitely the fault of the sensor. But that's that leg completed now, ready to be attached to R2-D2 later on down the line. But we have still got another leg to do. So that's what we're going to be doing in these 4 stages. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link down here in the video description. You can get this all the way from pack 1. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So as you can see here, we've got the motor and we've got some screws here. We're going to be actually fitting together the rest of the left leg here. So once the motor's in place and we've trolled the wires through the cavities there, I am going to show you how to do that. Remember, that's a very important bit, but I'll show you how to do that so you don't have mistakes. We're going to piece the whole leg together, so by the end of it, we've almost got a finished leg. So as you can see, issue 55, we've got the motor here and we've got these screws. So I'll get all this out, bring up the leg here, and we're going to be putting the motor into place here. So the motor's actually just going to go into the 4 holes here. So when we put it in, make sure that it engages with that wheel there. It's going to go in just like that. That's going to be held in with these larger screws here. So that's 1. 4 screws in total. I'll put 1 in the back here just to make sure that that is perfectly lined up, which it is. And then just 2 more screws either side. So that's on nice and tight. Now if I just put that to one side, in issue 46 we had a ribbon cable looking like that. So let's get this out, unravel this, and then we want to put the ribbon cable just into this plug just here. So I'll get that in, make sure it's round the right way. There you go. And make sure that's all the way in. Now I'm just going to take off this shroud here, because we need to now start passing this lead, this is what we had created before, through this section here. So just piece it underneath this part here and just bring that up. Now when we actually start piecing the leg together, let me just get this all up. The most important thing you can do on this whole build is leave enough room on the lead here to actually be able to put the leg together. Now I did state this in the other one, but what we need to do is, a little bit tangled there, is we need to make sure that when we put this together, this lead is going to be down like that. You see how tight I'm putting that with my finger? Everything else is the excess which is going up the leg, but we need to make sure that this lead is comfortably just like that. Very important. Now in stage 45, once again, we've got the orange cable here, which is eventually going to the foot sensor. So I'm going to put this one on. We've got 2 plugs on this. It's the larger plug that we're going to be threading through. So that's just going to go like that. And we want to make sure that we've got 135 mils of cable between this point here and the end of the plug here. Okay, so I've got a ruler here. Let's just see where 13.5 centimeters is. It's around about there. So we can pretty much have it just like that. Now we're going to start piecing all of these into place with some cable ties. Now the cable ties came in issue 45. So once again, as I said, we need to make sure that that is all the way down there. Just piecing that one together as well. And I'm going to start putting the cable ties into this section here. So gripping them together, that looks absolutely perfect there. Let's get the first cable tie through. Just like that. I'm going to make that nice and tight. Excellent. Trim off the excess. And we're going to be doing that 4 more times, just up the length of the leg here. And as you can see, they're all in place there. Now we're going to start piecing everything together here. So we want to take these wires and feed them just through the hole in the leg here. So they're all coming out that way. Need to just put this sensor back in. All the wires are in there. Clamp everything down into place. That looks good. And I'm just going to put that on just to hold everything in like that. Make sure we put on the other side of the leg here. Just like that. Obviously make sure the sensor's in place as well. Looking good. I'm just going to make sure that that sensor's actually tight into that position. Now's your chance to amend it if it's not. But that looks quite good. And then we're going to hold this in with, God, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 screws. So I'll get all these in, show you what that looks like. Do remember to put these ones back in. I almost forgot then. These go with the larger parts here towards the main part here. And there you go, that's all of those in. Now we're just going to put this sleeve here up where it goes, like that. We're going to be putting this side into this section here, and this is why it was important to have those wires just like that, so I can actually fit that perfectly down there without this wire impeding it, you see. All good. Turn it over. We've got the other side of this to put on. Now before we put this section on here, we've just got these details here. These are going to go in with the blue sections facing towards the rest of the leg. There is some holes at the side to put these in, so I'll get one in this side here. You see they clip in. One in the other side exactly the same way. They clip in, and then we could just feed the top over like this. Perfect. Turn it over, and then 4 screws to hold that into place. And there you go, with that in place there. That is what the finished leg flare looks like. Left, I didn't even say that right, did I? The finished left leg. All we've got left to do is the foot. We're going to be doing that in the next stages. So stage 56 here. We'll just turn to the back. And as you can see, oh, look at these. They actually got these around Milton Keynes, these little robots that deliver the food. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the foot here. So what we're going to be doing first off, we're going to take the dome over. We've got another panel to put in. So again, we're going to be using the double-sided tape that they provide and just put the panel into place there. And then we're just going to be putting the foot, or half the foot, on the leg here. So let's just open issue 56 and get out the plate that we need. And also that half of the foot. Just put them to one side because I'm going to be bringing over the dome. And if you remember, I protected this in the case that it came into, because we're going to be working on these two sides just here and here. So turning that upside down, and just like last time, we've got some double-sided tape to put in. And they're just going to go along the edges here. So as you can see, they're in there. Now remember, that double-sided tape is only in there temporarily. They're not going to hold the plates in. The plates are going to be held in by screws later on. This is just a temporary fix to keep them into place and lined up. So take the adhesive off the back of these. So that's the tape off, and then it's just a case of sticking these panels into place, making sure they are lined up perfectly. So I'll just get these in and show you what they look like. That's one. And then this silver panel here do have a kind of little border around them to help you out, but that will go in like that. So there we go. That's those two panels in place. So once again, keeping that safe, I'm going to put that on the dome again and put that nice and safe away. As for the foot, I'm going to keep that this side here. As for the foot, I've got a little detail here just to put in. This is where the power couplings are going to go in there. And this is just going to be going on this side of the foot here. So I'm just going to offer this way round, making sure everything's in place just like that. Obviously make sure before you put that bit in that it is actually fitting into that channel there, otherwise you'll have trouble getting that all the way in. And then we just secure that in with 2 of these screws that we've had from the last pack in either side of the foot. So one here and just one on the other side. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Now in stage 57, as you can see here, we're going to be continuing with the foot. We do have another plate to put in the dome here as well. So we're going to be putting the plate in the dome, and then we're going to be adding the sensor to the foot. This sensor I don't think has got the little lifter at the other side here. But we're going to be putting the other side of the foot together. So as you can see, there's the sensor and the next plate. And so just like last time, bring over the dome. Shouldn't have put this away really, should I? And this one's going to be going just underneath these 2 sections here. So when this is in, it's going to look kind of like that. So once again, get me double-sided tape. That's in there like that. Just peel off the backing. Put this plate in. Again, making sure it's as central as you can possibly get it. Which looks good. Push that into place. And there we go. That's the next plate in. We're going to bring the leg over now. Whoops. Or, you know, World of Wayne channel. I'm going to get my leg over now. And I'm going to be putting the sensor into place. That's just going to go into that section just there like that. Held in with one of the black self-tapping screws. Get that all the way in there. Now this one's kind of like on a spring. I think that's probably why we don't need a plate underneath it. But what we are going to do is we're going to be connecting this adapter to that sensor. So I'm going to wrap it around the back of the motor and just put that in there like that. Perfect. All I'm going to do then is put the top over, making sure I'm not pinching any of the wires underneath. And again, can you see how it's important that we had some excess on that? So we can get that perfectly into place. And then once again, holding that in with 4 of these black self-tapping screws. Just like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So the last stage in this pack, this is stage 58. If I just turn to the back, as you can see, oops, we have got another plate to put in, which is just going to go on the long section of the dome there. And then we've just got the actual foot plate to put in underneath, like that. Now there are some things that we get in this pack that we're not actually going to use straight away, namely these power couplings there, so we need to keep them safe. I do need this plate though. And once again, bring the dome over, and as you can see, we've got 2 long plates on this one. This one's going to go next to the one with the circle, so it's going to go in here. So once again, put some double-sided tape on this. And then once again, get this one lined up. That looks good. Push that in. And as you can see, that's how that one's looking. Again, put this to one side to keep it safe. All we got left to do then is just put the foot over the top, make sure it's round the right way so these sensors fit in. So I'm just lining the sensors up first, putting the foot in just like this, and then I'm going to attach this with 6 screws. These are the black screws we've been using. We do get some more in this stage, so we're not going to go short. So that's one left over from what I had before. And then as you can see here, we've got the rest of the screws here. So I'll get all of those in, and there you go. They're all in place, and that is another completed leg. So there you go. There's quite a bit more to do than we normally used to in these packs, but we now have 2 completed legs, which means from now on we're going to be working on the dome and the body. There's still loads to do. I said we're only up to issue 56. There's 100 stages in this one, so we are getting there. But if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link in the video description so you can get this all the way from pack 1. But I really do hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.